Okay, so in this video we're talking about finding the surface areas of harder 3D shapes. So we've already been doing cylinders, so we're now going to be working on spheres, cones, and we're focusing on square base pyramids. I will talk a little bit if it's not a square base pyramid, but actually that one's probably the most self-explanatory as long as you know what the net looks like, which is what I'm going to draw later on. So firstly, for the sphere, the surface area is just 4 times the radius. So remember, the radius is from the middle to the outside. So 4 times the radius squared times by pi. So that's a nice easy one to remember. For the cone, they have 2 separate parts. So this part is the curvy bit. So that's the bit that curves round to make the cone shape, like an ice cream cone. And then this part here is the base, which will be a circle. Now, just be careful that you read the question properly, because sometimes they don't include the circle base. They just want the area of the curved part. So just make sure that you work out what they want you to work out. And then for the square base pyramid, we've got this bit here. So L stands for the height of the triangles. So it means that it's different to what we were doing for the volume. Same for the cone one. It's just the slanty bit on the side. Okay, so it's not the height from the middle up to the point. Okay, so that's really important that you know the difference. With the cone ones, not necessarily if you're in year 8 or 9, but when you're in year 10, 11, and if you're doing higher, sometimes you're going to have to use Pythagoras' theorem to work out that length, okay? Because if you know the vertical height, which is what you've done before with the volume, and you know the radius, those two sides create a right angle. So it means that you can then use Pythagoras' theorem to then work out the diagonal, okay, which is the one you need for the volume, for the surface area. So yeah, just be careful with that. So just why this sort of works. So a square base pyramid has this sort of net. Okay, so you've got the 4 triangles on the outside and then the square in the middle. So this part here, the W squared, that is for the area of the base. And these triangles, so the base of the triangles is W and the height is L, which is what I've written here. So to find the area of just one triangle, that would be the W times by the height L, and then you'd halve it because it is a triangle. Okay, but because we've got 4 of those, that means 4 lots or 4 halves, which equals 2 whole lots of W times L. Okay, so you could just work out, if you don't want to use this formula, you can just work out the area of one triangle and then just times your answer by 4. Okay, so they're the main formulas that you need to know. We're going to now apply it to some examples. Okay, I have written the formulas underneath as well just to help you out. So we're going to start with the sphere. So we are told that the radius is 3. So all we do is do 4 times by 3 squared, because it says radius squared. And then we times our answer by pi. And you just type that in on a calculator. So 4 times 3 squared times by pi, which gives us 113.1 centimetres squared. Okay, again, I'm doing all mine to 1 decimal place, but just make sure you read the question because they might want it to a different accuracy. Okay, so for the next one, so we're doing pi times the radius, which is 4, and L, we're told, which is this diagonal here, is 10. Okay, so that's the curved section. We then need to add on the area of the base, so that would be 4 squared times by pi. Okay, that is just the formula for an area of a circle. And again, we just type that in on a calculator. So pi times 4 times 10, and then we add on 4 squared times by pi, and then equals 175.9. Okay, so if they just ask for the curved surface, you just wouldn't do the circle bit, okay? You'd just do that section. Okay, and the last one. So we are doing 2 times, so L is the 5 and W is the one side of the base, so 6. Okay, so that divided by 2 would be the area of one triangle. Okay, but we need 4 of them. So you could do 5 times by 6, which is 30, half it, which is 15, and then times it by 4, and you'll still get the same answer as what I'm going to get. Okay, so we've done that, and then we add on the area of the base, so that will be 6 times 6, or 6 squared, and then we just work out the numbers. So that's going to be 60, that's going to be 36, added together 96 centimetres squared. Okay, so this is the most logical one, I think, just thinking about using nets. These ones are a little bit harder because you just need to remember the formulas.